Hey guys, Cam from 15 back at it with another video for you guys. Back talking more Sword of the Demon Hunter episode reviews for you guys. And dog, this show is out of all the shows I'm reviewing right now on my channel, like legitimately, out of all my shows I'm reviewing on my channel, this might have to be the number one show. I'm enjoying all the other shows I'm reviewing on the channel, as well as I'm enjoying all the other shows that I just watch on my free time that I don't review. But Sword of the Demon Hunter right now is probably my favorite anime that I have watched from beginning to now. And I'm just mind blown with the plot twist and all these craziness things that are happening, and Lord have mercy, man. This was really good. And I'm glad to have not reviewed the last week's episode because these are nice two back-to-back set episodes, right? So, episode hold on, let me see. I believe this was episode, if I'm looking at it. I believe this was episode 5. So episode 5 and episode 6. So episode 5, basically the premise of this episode, which, nothing really kind of happens in this episode. It's established we have this one guy that he's looking for his long lost missing older brother, and he just was there one day and he upped and vanished and he was gone. And he obviously, wanted some help, and he asked Jinya for some help. But Jinya's like, unless it doesn't involve any demons, then I have nothing. Excuse me, I have nothing else to do for you. So I'm sorry, but I can't help you, right? So Jinya actually is like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna help you. But you have it to where the soba shopkeeper, he's like, hey, Jinya, look, I understand. You got your code, your morals and your codes and what you do and what you don't, but for me, could she like please help him out? Like help him out. Right? And Jinya's like, all right, fine, okay, I'll do it. I do, I do owe you guys a favor anyway, so I might as well. And he goes to go help him out. And, the guy kind of connects with him a bit in terms of like, um, the katanas and everything. And he talks about how his brother kind of had an affinity for katanas as well, right? So yeah. And that was kind of basically it, which leads in this episode. We also do kind of get a nice side conversation between Jinya and Natsu. Um, and basically, you kind of just have this conversation between where Jinya's kind of like, hey, just asking by chance, you're not gonna finally get settled down and you're not gonna marry the one dude, right? And she's like, what, me marry him? Nah, sorry. I look, he's more of like a brother to me, which I absolutely was like, damn, mother effer got brother locks. I'm like, so that shit ain't happening. And apparently, I guess we find out like he's way older than Jinya, because Jinya like says like, he's 31, and she's like, holy shit. I'm like, he's older than you are. We don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's like maybe 4 or 5 years older than him. I don't know. But honestly, at first when you go back to that one episode, I believe it was either episode 2 or episode 3, right? I honestly kind of shipped Natsu with that dude, but I guess she just again views him as a brother. So that man got a brother. He got brother zoned. So there's that. I don't know if maybe she is taking an interest in Jinya where she maybe like likes him. I don't know. She legitimately said, I want you to stop calling me Natsu Dono. I just want you to call me Natsu. Which was funny because I think it's in the 6th episode. He walks into the soap shop and Natsu's there, and he's like, Natsu Dono, and she's like, we agreed you'd call me Natsu, not that. And he's like, Natsu, and she was kind of like all giddy and happy about that. So, look, I don't know if Natsu has feelings for Jinya. Look, I've watched again. Jinya is picking up all of these girls. He got that. Obviously, he had sadly his actual girl, right? Who was sadly killed. That one lady in their town, or that one girl in their town who kind of, liked him. Um, Clearly Natsu must like him, and then obviously we know that Ofu likes him too. Um, but essentially what happens is he ends up going to go help the dude, right? And he goes to his house, right? His mother is very respectful. Like she was basically, bending and bowing down before him, and I'm just like, okay. He does, and it's funny because like they said, like his mother is kind of like she's kind of well, not crazy, but she's kind of like an aggressive like woman in terms of like she'll get on your case, right? But she was all respectful and everything. And Ginya's like, your mom is really respectful. And he's like, thank you. So also, if you remember from a few episodes, how when Ofu was showing Jinya about the flowers, we even do see in episode 5 how he talks to her about the flowers and everything, and how it's like, okay, he's got more of an understanding of flowers, and it really helped out. So in this whole situation, um, the dude talked about dandelions, right? And talking about how they're already been bloomed and the type I forgot the season, it's like spring season, right? And essentially, Jinya's like, okay, so they are dandelions. That's not a good sign. And it's not a good sign because typically dandelions don't, it shows like dandelions bloom in another season, right? And if it bloomed, if you're giving me dandelions and these were from the spring season, well, then something must happen. Anyways, dude goes in his brother's room and gets entranced and kind of passes out. And then you see this flashback of this little girl, right? This little girl had a family and everything until everything just came to shit and it burned down to the ground. And this entire freaking area in this town was completely burned to the crisp, right? And this girl's walking, and all these other humans are just like, what the heck? Like, gotta stay away from that girl. And it's later revealed that little girl was a demon girl, right? And we see that, she was going through, town from town to town. She aged herself. She grew and aged herself up, right? And the thing is, she kind of snuck into this house and saw like, oh, this family together, and she just wanted that. She missed her mother, she missed her father, she missed having that lifestyle, right? And then she basically creates this plane, this alternate like plane universe, right? Only she can create, so she could relive that and get all those experiences back. We later find out, and it's revealed that the dude's brother ended up going into this plane, and he wanted to be there for the demon girl, and he actually ended up wanting to go home with the demon girl. Um, and the demon girl said, no, I don't want to go home. I'll just stay here. It's where my memories are and everything. And, the dude's brother was like, well, you can come with me. We can start a family, and if anything, you're like a daughter to me, and I want to take care of you. And she's like, well, sorry, but I don't view you as my father. You're not my actual father. And the dude's like, well, I don't, well, he's like, well, that's fine. And he basically says like, look, I'm going to stay here till you accept me as your father for once. And then once you do, we'll leave this place, right? And then his essence, basically fizzled away. And the dude was like, where's my brother? And the demon girl's like, well, he's gone now. And we later get revealed, like, basically the brother died because he ended up actually leaving, right? And he ended up getting old. And we find out in this plane from what Jinya says, like, one moment he got outside, so much time has passed by that he ended up becoming, he was like a young, probably middle-aged dude. By the time he came out, he was an old man. And the thing is, we find out that since he was in this plane for this long a time, the plane, in this like thing, time goes by faster. And I forgot, there was a series, that I watched, or there was a movie where it's like going in this one area. Oh, Fairy Tail. It was like with Fairy Tail, right? In the arc before, with during the Grand Magic Games arc, when Lucy and company went to the Celestial Spirit World, and once they came out, time passed, and it's because in that plane, time moved faster. The same thing happened. The same thing happened. Here in this situation, dude stayed in this plane for over, like, I think they said 20 years, around 20 years, and by the time he came out, he was an old ass man because the time flew by faster in that plane compared to the other world, or the real world. So, albeit barely any time maybe passed once he got back in the plane, it felt as if those 20 years had passed by and he's an old man. And basically the guy had to come to grips and realization that his brother is basically dead. So he comes to grips with it, he accepts it, and he understands, and he's like, I'm just gonna do that and everything. So yeah. And then this is when you get the plot twist, right? It ends up essentially being revealed that the Sobaman shop owner is the dude's brother. And yet the brother is still alive. And Jinya's like, why didn't you want to tell your brother that you're still alive? And he's like, look, man, I'm just this new dude now. I don't want to put him with that amount of stuff and everything. I'm just glad he's doing all right and everything, and he's a-okay, right? And he talks about how, the girl finally did accept him as her father, and that's the thing. He also reveals to Jinya that he knew that he was a demon the entire time, and everything. And Jinya's like, wait, how'd you know? And basically the dude is like, look, man, my daughter was a demon girl, so it's pretty obvious to pick up on the fact of, like, I can tell, like, who's a demon and who's not, right? And and then when I'm watching the scene, I'm like, let me guess, Ofu is the demon girl, right? Now, Jinya, for whatever reason, didn't even realize this the second. I don't know why he just didn't realize the fact, like, hey, okay, this is the Soba dude. Okay, this dude's the dude from the plane who came back, right, with the demon girl. And how the fact that Jinya didn't put it two and two together or realize immediately of saying, like, wait, if that's the case, then that must mean you're that demon girl from the plane. Especially the fact, like, Ofu was calling him father or dad. Like, I don't know why Jinya was actually shocked, like, that was the case. And I'm like, bruh, that was easy. Like, the moment they revealed that, I'm like, okay, yeah, Ofu is definitely the demon girl, right? And yes, Ofu, because, Jinya's like, so what happened with your daughter, or the girl? And basically the dude's like, what are you talking about? She's right here. And basically that's when Ofu shows her red eyes and everything, and it's revealed that basically she was the demon child and everything and stuff like that. So, man, I saw that, bro. I'm like, damn. This show is so good because this dude, basically out of the own kind of his heart, and he just said, look, I'm just doing this because I feel like it. I'm gonna try to be something for you in your life and everything. So, and that's what he did, and he's there for his demon daughter. And two, it also makes sense how a few episodes ago when we were dealing with the other demon dude and his wife, right? It makes sense why the shop owner said, hey, you want to marry my daughter? You more than welcome to marry her. You can take her hand in marriage. It makes sense now because now he knows that Jinya is a demon, and he knows that his daughter's a demon. We know that demons live longer than humans do. And it makes the most sense why he would try to hook up his daughter with Jinya, because he knows Jinya can protect her. And most importantly, Jinya's a demon, so they can live together, have a life together, and they can live basically however long their lives basically can live for a demon in this universe, right? And I thought that was, cool. And it makes the most sense for his case, because it's like, he knows he's not going to be alive forever. So he's like, you know what? I know Jinya's a good guy. He's like one of the good demons. I honestly want him to marry my daughter. I don't. He never brings it up in terms of those reveals saying like you remember how I asked you to marry my daughter. That's kind of the reason why. Look, again, I don't know if they'll maybe find a way unless they find some weird plot twist way where they could where Jinya's like first girl, like the first girl he was ever in love with, could come back to life somehow. Don't know, but honestly, after seeing this, I'm like, bro, you might as well just take Ofu's hand in marriage, and you should just marry her, right? But I think regardless, he likes going to the soba shop all the time, so I think if anything, he's gonna probably be Ofu's protector in a weird way. But honestly, I'm just like, bruh, you might as well just take her hand in marriage and just marry her right then and there. I think and she's very understandable too, and she even tells Jinya like, yeah, I 100% now know why you do what you do. So, I hope maybe at some point down the road, maybe we do see the fact that Jinya, because remember in the last episode, in episode 5, Natsu does say like, aren't you gonna like settle down at some point yourself? You can't do all this thing. And Jinya does make the point, it's like, well, people aren't not gonna like a wandering Ronin who basically has no life purpose or no job or anything. So I don't know. Maybe he thinks about the idea and maybe he just is like, hey, I want to, maybe he takes Ofu's hand and realizes like, I've lived a long life and everything. Now I want to be somebody special to you because I lost somebody special to me. And, we know Ofu, obviously it's clear Ofu definitely cares or maybe has some feelings for Jinya. I don't know if by the end of episode, this show, they'll end up hooking up together. I think that would be a good way to go. It'd be a nice resolution for Jinya to find some love after he deals with the sister shit. But we'll see. Honestly, I think they would make a good pairing. So that's just me. But dog, this episode was deep, so damn good. I'm really loving Sword of the Demon Hunter, bruh. This is one of the top like shows to watch, and if you're missing out, you gotta fucking watch this show. But anyways, I'm gonna get it for guys. If you like guys at the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Sword of the Demon Hunter content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Until then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day or your night. I'm watching this video. Until then, guys, peace.